You're such an asshole.
All right, gonna bang a couple out so I can take a couple days off this weekend. And only true Simpson. When the Simpson was good, police, cops, police, cops. Oh no, it's the cops. Worse, it's the police cops. None of you young people are allowed to have humor nowadays. I'm terribly sorry you don't remember when America was allowed to be funny. And that's a perfect. You could, like, if you were to rate how funny The Simpsons was, you'll see just how far a stick was shoved up America's ass as time went on. So we have a question from a cop, a police cop. Hello, Aaron. I'm gonna keep as much of this anonymous as possible. I'm writing for you for help in organizing my life and prioritizing objectives before I turn a certain age. I'll do this first by telling you about my. And by the way, I charged a lot for this police cop. Dude, I don't know what your shift reports are like, but they got to be pages long, man. Your lieutenant must hate your guts. McCraffick. His name's not McCraffick. I didn't know a cop named McCraffick, though. McCraffick, get in here. What's with this 28-page report? You had 2 arrests, and they're for jaywalking. Well, sir, I thought you want to know what color shoes he had. Telling about myself. Second, explain my concerns about my life and goals. The third, directly ask my questions to you. I don't mean to bloviate, but I'm going to tell you about I don't mean to bloviate. So that's why I'm going to tell you how short I'm going to make it. But I need to apologize first. I'm kidding. He didn't write this. This is what you guys. I want to let you know I'm going to be short. And you were short by wasting an entire sentence. I'll give you a background. He's not the age he's about to be. Live with my mom at a place outside a major crap hole leftist crap hole. I'm a suburban cop with less than a year in the department. You currently make a good salary. You can make more because we overpay people with union, although I'm more lenient towards paying cops more. Look, let's just admit it. Every cop's better than a teacher. Even the corrupt ones, yes, because at least he's not a Marxist. I know there's been some pretty bad cops. Bad lieutenant. Oh, there's a movie. I also work on the side for my dad doing a thing. However, we are not talking now because he has a toxic personality. Specifically, he watches Fox News every day and rants about the world's problems. You enjoy the decline, and sanity is the future of wealth. Just buy those 2 books for him as a gift. Have him read it. See if he enjoys it. He doesn't have any social life and clings to me for conversation. However, he usually vents to me about family, especially a failed marriage with my mom. He won't enjoy the decline. He's a right-wing conservative who was born and raised in a different country. He moved to the United States when he was a young man. He comes from a school of hard knocks and instilled his work ethic and political ideas in me. Though, to be honest, I'm a libertarian. I just want to be left the F alone. My childhood was good and bad. Good because I came from you came from well-to-do because your dad he worked hard. You came from upper middle class. Let's put it that way. If you made that much money, that's upper middle class. I was well fed. I had a stay-at-home mom. Went to good schools. However, things went bad after the 2008 housing crash. My dad lost his ass and was forced to work 12 to 14-hour days doing things to me. So he didn't save any of that money. Dude, if I made that much money back then, you wouldn't see me. I'm always amazed when people make that much money and they lose it. Like, how? Did you not save it? You could get by on 1/10 of that. How did you not save any? Happy wife, happy life. Your lieutenant must hate you for your lack of use of paragraphs as well, I see. Mom started working, not a real job. Being the oldest of several children, I took on house duties. My mom usually did and worked with my dad on the weekends. However, what really took a psychological toll on me was the nonstop fighting of my parents. They would constantly fight and argue over money. And with the aforementioned being, how with so much money do you... All right, never mind. Here, you know what? In addition, I'll change the links down below because I just put a bunch of links. Have your dad take a fraction of the money he obviously pissed away and have your mom take it to the minimalism class is open for enrollment now. All right. You could search it. It's on Teachable. Search Teachable Minimalism Clary or Clary School of Economic Philosophy. Yes, it is $500. Your dad obviously pissed away a lot more. Maybe they could find happiness then. Maybe. Arguing about money. My God. Being dragged through the mud with a broken marriage, among other things they did to me, were making me hide their money from one another, lying to them about what the other was doing. Especially when it came to money. And geez, if there was only a solution to know the proper role money should play in one's life, if only there was a class, something about needing it the least amount so that you could pursue other happy things. If there was only a psychological, philosophical, philosophy involved, that maybe we like minimal amount of money. Maybe we could call it minimalism. I don't know. Money. Worst of all, to this day, the nonstop venting to me about how much they hate each other. In 20 certain year, they split up and sold the family home that my father had built for us. Aww. I'm sorry I'm busting your balls. I'm not angry at you. It's just you got to be more precise. And I'm flabbergasted that your family made that much money and you were arguing over it. Like there should have been more than enough to go around. Unless your mom was like really hot and she just filled her soulless life with things, and the plumbing downstairs was so good your dad tolerated that crap and just gave her all the cash. I know, where'd the money go? How? All right. Went to high school, started attending college, started a major in political science, the major to double down, prove I was twice as stupid by picking criminal justice. Oh, that's precious, man. Oh, graduated while in college. I started drinking and heavily drank for 2 years. Well, stop that, man, especially if you're a cop. It's going to bars and drinking nonstop. Part of this drinking was caused by working many hours for my dad while taking 16 credit hours a semester. Well, see, now if you didn't drink, even I knew that back in college, I couldn't afford. See, I didn't have my dad make that much money, so I could afford to drink. I literally did not have my first drink until I was 21, and there was no time to get drunk. You probably would have done better if you didn't drink. You're like, oh, I actually do have the energy to do all this. The workload got to me. I started smoking pot and experimenting with other drugs. It got to the point where I realized I could sustain this lifestyle and lost 120 pounds in 6 months. Oh, so were you overweight? Furthermore, by going into my last year of college, I cut back on the drink. Oh, good. I stayed on a strict diet and worked out 6 days a week. However, I still used drugs and smoked marijuana every day. I also started vaping and became addicted to nicotine. Dude, look, I understand coming from, well, let's call it a toxic environment, but it's like American Beauty. It is like you got everything, man, but your parents hate each other. And you're making the problems. Oh, the problems in the suburbs. Oh, agony. I shouldn't be so hard on you, but hey, look, for all the we got a lot of people. We have the gambit here. Look, guys, and this is serious, not to pick on them anymore. Doesn't matter if you got money. It really doesn't. Some of these people are miserable. Those people you think they got that fancy house in the burbs, they are miserable, and they don't have the money. I can't emphasize that enough. They don't have it. I knew a couple, they made over 300,000 a year. And then also in their houses, I'm like, how is your house being foreclosed on? You guys make so much money. Well, we had some spending problems. What? They spent like 342,000 in a year. I'm like, Dude, you pay me $300,000 a year. 3 years, I'm gone. You won't ever see me again. Oh, you vaped. It's so stereotypical. The only thing we need, although we'd have to backtrack 20 years, the only thing is that your sister would be, pulling up at Ferris Bueller's Day Off with a brand new Fiero or a convertible cabriolet. But that's before your time. Where we go. During college, I discovered the red pill. I was 22 and started watching Sandman videos, which led me to you. Since then, I've been following red pill content creators. Have been completely taken out of the matrix. All right, look. Let's look on the upside potential. All right. I'm hoping you quit your drugs. Sounds like you got a great job. You're not going to go through what your dad did. I think the worst of your life is over. Whatever your questions may be, and however flat and pancaked your balls are after I kicked them enough there, the worst is over. All right. Because there ain't no way you're ever going to let that happen to you. I don't know what your mom and dad did to each other, but I just predict your mom was really hot. Your dad was addicted to the pussy. And all of a sudden, 1.5 million was missing. Where did it go? Been completely taken out of the matrix. It's a blessing and a curse because while I have the gift of sanity, it came at the cost of being jaded and pissed off that I was lied to for years until I was 22. Would you rather have been lied to and slowly see here right now? You're still a young man. Like I said, this is the worst it gets. Now is where your life gets better and everyone else continues to decay. Why? Because they didn't discover the truth. Because they keep living the lie. And I don't know if you have a sister or not, but let's say you had a sister. Let's say you had a twin sister, okay, for the sake of example. And she didn't take the red pill, and she had everything shoved up her ass too of perfect suburbanite prestige. And she went down the regular path. All right, well, she'd be out of whatever grad school. That would have paid for everything, or maybe not. I don't know. And she is now entering epiphany phase. She thinks she's going to whatever career go, whatever else. So now fast forward, 20 some, 30 some years when you're my age. Where are you guys going to be then? Well, okay, you'll have recovered from this, but your sister will be theoretical, stuck in the matrix. Eggs are gone, no family wine, whatever, debt, probably a drug addiction. And you're, I don't know, you made lieutenant or captain by that time. Actually, be pretty old. You could retire by that time. And you know not to waste your money on things. You didn't need to take my class to figure that out. And then maybe you find yourself a nice wife overseas or something like that. And that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for the future. You're not aiming for now. So you may be angry and jaded and pissed off, like you said. But at least you have sanity. At least you yourself go get that book. Sanity is the Future of Wealth book. It's about that long. You can read it on the toilet in one sitting. Came at the cost of me being jaded at 22. Lied to your toy, dude. There's guys who don't get unplugged until they're 60, and the wife for 35 years leaves them. You are so far ahead. I went through the red pill ratio 2 years. Can't seem to shake my constant disdain for people in general, nor should you. You're a cop. You babysit the pieces of filth in society. You see the worst of society, probably. And I work security, and occasionally I'd see some bums or something like that. But I look out, and most people I get people wearing onesies who are in their 30s and 40s. Thinking that's appropriate attire to go out to restaurants and places. You should have disdain for people. Your barometer, your thermometer, or whatever, your measuring devices are correct. So yes, you should hate people. They aren't, at least in this country, most of them aren't worth crap. I look at the world around me and can only think how we will fall like the Roman Empire. Yes, we will. All empires fail. What are you going to do about it? After graduation, I wanted to pursue my passion and become a prosecutor, go to law school. Oh God, it is so suburbanite. However, after watching your content, I realized this was fanatical suicide and said, F that. Saved one. And there's another one we saved. Look, you're doing better than any lawyer you probably know, right? Any one of your colleagues that went to law school with a criminal justice undergrad? I can't even do that, dude. That's that. Criminal justice degrees is that. That's what it is. Break out the tweezers, which you know. Look, I'm gonna paint a look at this. Did you avoid going to law school? You did? How much worse position would you have been if you went to law school? Yeah. Why don't you celebrate that? I know you're maybe still a little bit angry and you're lamenting the loss of the American dream, but at least you're not loaded with $250,000 in debt with a joke of a law school degree from Strip Mall U. Right? You know, that would be what your sister, theoretical twin sister, would do. Between college getting hired by the department, I told my dad to go pound sand, and work for 2 years at a place doing a thing. I simply didn't know what I wanted to do and had to wander the desert for a while. There you go. So you got everyone does that. Everyone does that. You did that. That's been not now you know what to do. You got a job, man. You got a profession. And that's over. Dude, this is like you finally graduated from high school and you're done with your prison sentence and you're like angry that you know it wasn't what it was supposed to be, which you should be perennially angry what teachers in the public school systems and parents do to children today, force them to go to school. But you should rejoice that you're out of prison. So that you wandered in the desert. That's a big hurdle done. You've climbed that mountain. While working at this place, I entertained becoming a teacher, but with my vocation at the time, I realized being a teacher was beneath me. Yes, it is. Several months ago, I decided to become a cop. Started applying during the pandemic, stopped smoking pot, but I still drank and used nicotine. How about we stop the drinking? I know that's harder than you think, and it is. You know, alcoholic right here. And you're depressed. You have every reason. I understand some of the reasons I drink too, but you gotta knock it off. Go to AA. Also, I'd recommend maybe take the minimalism course because it talks about it. I'm not cross-selling because I want to make money. I'm cross-selling it because I want to make money, and it addresses addiction because all what you have to overcome with spending more money, which your parents obviously need, it's an addiction. You have to overcome that. And if you can overcome one addiction, you're like, oh, that's how it works. Or at least in my economic philosophy, that's how I figured it out. I know there's like psychological treatments and therapy, not my class, but maybe you might want to take a look at that. And here's the other thing. It's out of look, you kind of are a caretaker of the public, right? You got to be on your game. Even if you go to work sober, the alcohol will still slow you down a little bit. You're not going to be as sharp. You might fail to pick up a clue. You might fail to observe something. And that could be the difference between someone living and dying or solving a case or finding some kid who's trapped in some weirdo's basement. Okay. So for the sake of those people, why don't you drop the booze? Which I know I could give all the reasons in the world to drop the booze. It ain't going to work. You need to understand. You need to replace it with something. Several times ago, I was hired as a police officer. I spent the first 6 months at an academy as a recruit. After graduating, went to my department and am currently in some kind of training, like a probation period, I guess. My job is going well. I'm glad I went a law enforcement route. Currently, I have a particular shift. Okay, 8-hour shifts. Like the schedule allows me to be very productive. I'm naturally not close to my coworkers yet because I'm new. But I feel this has developed good friendships over time. Yeah, man. I'm like, probably want to get back to Rapid City. I'll probably join like reserve cops. Is it the cops? Worse, it's the reserve cops. Hello, sir. Yes, it's clear it's safe to walk across the street now. Oh boy, I get to put the pylons down for the parade. And the reason for that is just to have camaraderie again. Like, it is so rare, dude. Think about how lacking your social life probably was in high school and college. And now you're going to have a family, and it's going to be cool dudes, because usually cops are pretty cool dudes. And just from an older guy who didn't realize what he had, please value that. Don't force it. You're going to but you get a group of guys with a little bit of danger threatening them all. And there's going to be some good genitalia jokes. There's going to be some good jokes in there. And appreciate it while you got it. Oops, come on. Oh, hang on. Am I good? I'm good. Okay. My concerns and goals. I have key goals that I want to achieve or be on track to by a certain age. Have your goals. Don't set it by a time limit. World doesn't work that way. The world will give you success way earlier than you were expecting it and delay it for decades, or maybe you'll never get in certain regards. Don't knock it off with this young stuff. Well, I'm going to set these. Stop being a girl who's going to get married at 30 years and 6 months, and then married at 31 and 3 months. Doesn't work that way. First goal is buying a home. I think especially with low interest rates that I should buy a home roughly in the $200,000 range. Where are you going to live? Both for living space as an investment. I'm open to doing anything with it. You're fixing up and renting it out, living approximately 2 years while I'm fixing up and selling. I believe if I make it my primary residence for 2 years for student profit from selling is tax-free. Don't have carpentry experience, but probably can help me out. Okay. Because you have a job at a police department, you're probably going to be anchored there a fair amount. If you're going to buy a house, do it now. Okay. Because if you dilly-dally and then, because your long-term goals, I don't know if you're going to do your 20 years at this department, but if you're going to be here for a while, cut your teeth, fine. If there's a time for someone to buy a house in their career, yours would be now when you're starting out at what seems to be a pretty stable and reasonably stable job. Get one that works for you. I would recommend a bachelor hut of some kind. This is your starter home. This is your hedge against inflation. This is so you can roll the equity over into another home where you're inevitably going to want to settle and retire. All right. So you get a piece of property that works for you. And with your carpentry experience and your dad helping you out, yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, cool. Fine. My next goal is getting back into physical shape. I want to get back to where I was in my prime a year ago. You were a certain weight and running a lot. And you showed pictures and yeah, you're shredded, dude. I don't know what happened to the police academy. Do you get more shredded there? Don't they make you do physical stuff? Or is it the modern day police academy? You were athlete level. You gave me the stats. I don't want to mention your stats because people might know. You also enjoyed lifting weights and was a power lifter during college. Also very impressive lifting. I was doing great with my diet and workout routine until I tore some muscles. Couldn't work out for months. Didn't work out in nearly a year. Got my ass back to the gym a month ago and plan on running again in April when it's warm. Good. Next goal is quitting my addictions. I currently vape and use nicotine substitutes nonstop through the day. All right. Cool. You know what? You gave up booze. That's great. So what? You vape and use nicotine. Dude, you need vice. Look, and stop fighting it. Right? Normally in the olden times, you know what a man's vice was? Women. You'd have your wife and you guys have a lot of fun, and that was your vice. Now, obviously, that's off the table for an increasing percentage of people. And so you need a vice. Now, booze obviously was your vice. Booze was a vice for millions of proud American men in our long and proud history. But you got rid of that. But you can't just be Mr. Goody. You just can't. The world is too harsh. You need a vice. My vice, I'm starting to eat like whatever the hell I want. Now I got to work out. I don't overdo it. But like, I don't like, oh, I'm going to get like, I ate Firehouse Sub today. Don't care. I went to and got a crumble cookie yesterday. A crumble cookie, not a box, a single crumble cookie. You need, because man, without booze, you get so like, oh my God, it's worse than I thought. This is horrible. This is worse than being hungover. My God. that's fine if you smoke your nicotine or you smoke your vape and nicotine. That's fine. If it becomes a problem, like you got to do it nonstop, maybe find a different vice. I don't know. I mean, have you thought about ice cream? Have you thought about, like, if you get back to running and working out? I mean, the problem with those take away calories of energy, if anything. I need to stop because I'm aware of the detriments it will cause to my health. Is there detriments? How much are you using? I'm addicted to prawn. It has gotten so bad that I can't get my soldier can't salute without it. Okay. Well, here I'll tell one thing I will tell you, because if you got multiple addictions, you know, the finance, the minimalism, of course, would be one thing. But if you're going through essentially substance abuse and it's multiple addictions, you got to go talk to a therapist. I would absolutely go talk to a therapist. A couple people I could recommend, and one would be Paul at Apex Mindset. Go contact apexmindset.com, I believe it is. Paul Benjamin, go look him up. Tell him I sent you. He works with neurology and addiction and things like that. But I'm sure the police department obviously has a therapist you could talk to. I don't know if you're going to get the right one or if you're going to get the lethal weapon therapist who was just like a babe in the woods. They play jokes on her. Talk to Dr. David Maloney at histherapist.com. Talk to Sean Smith if Dr. Maloney's too busy, which he might be. But you do need to see a therapist. I would recommend talking to someone, and the police would probably pay for it if you go through their recommended, And it's not. Are you hurting anyone? No. Are you even hurting yourself? Not really. Your liver ain't going to give out because you're vaping, and prawn ain't gonna, I don't know, make you go blind. But yeah, if it's starting to affect your performance, yeah, you need to go talk to a pro. Furthermore, I seek out the most extreme prawn I can get. It's gotten to the point where I'm having trouble staying erect while having a real girl. I'm not sure how to go about this or what resources. You know who else you might want to talk to? Because it's specifically related to sex. Oh, read he's got a couple books, he's got some classes, but email him directly. Sterling Cooper, professional porn actor. He knows the mechanics of it. He won't be able to address the psychology, but he knows the mechanics of it. Like, he'll give you a prescription. Obviously, stop looking at prawn. So there you go. I'm not sure about how to go about this or what resources are available to quit. Police department, talk to a therapist. Dr. David Maloney, Sean T. Smith, but more, quote, functionally. Yeah, Paul Benjamin, Apex Mindset, and Sterling Cooper, he'll tell you the prescription, but that may not treat the underlying psychological stuff. So yeah, you definitely, if you got all these addictions, you got to go talk to a therapist. And that's why I'm recommending those, because they're good ones, or they're experts in a particular field that would help supplement your therapy. I'm not an alcoholic. I enjoy 2 or 3 glasses of bourbon 3 or 4 nights a week. The real problem is when I go out with my friends to bars or events, I honestly find it difficult to relate or talk to people in general. So when I go out to socialize with friends or women, I find myself getting belligerently intoxicated. All right. Yeah. No, man. You guys, because aren't you like kind of always off duty, on duty? It's not good. Yeah. Go get help. Go get help. I commonly will pregame by drinking a 5th of tequila before I head out and keep drinking until I black out. So I'm drunk. I'm so drunk a 40-year-old fat chick looks like a stunner. All right. Go talk to a therapist. Now, what happens if you lose this job? How pissed off, how up bleep crick are you going to be? How depressed will you be? Don't mess this up. Go therapist. Real one. Maloney, Smith, Sterling Cooper. Talk to them all. Talk to them all. Tell them all I sent you. All right? I don't care what it costs. It's better than you losing your job. Or worse, somebody dying because you weren't on top of your game. And secondarily would be down the road, you might like to have a woman. My next goal is to reconnect with humanity. I'd strongly advise against that goal. You see it up close and personal every day you work, I'm pretty sure. I'm a cynical F. Over the years, my faith in humanity has depleted to nothing. Well, great quote from Die Hard. That man hasn't seen nothing. Now you think he's going to give a damn if he makes it out of there alive? Why do you wake up and smell what you shoveling? You haven't seen anything good. Well, of course. Has someone complimented you? Did a cute girl ask you out? Did a cute girl show up on a date like she said she was going to? Well, yeah. It's not you. Society is that bad. So Joyce, it ain't you. You could try and reconnect with humanity, but I don't know. The only good thing that you have in humanity right now would be the police department. Like that would be your family. I mean, I know you got a family, but that would give you something to look forward to. Like, hey, these are your guys. Here's your band of brothers. Doesn't get much better than that. I've been watching what was going on in the news, and through my personal experiences with people, I have become very misanthropic. I generally don't feel empathetic towards people because I often feel whatever situation people are in could have been prevented if they weren't so stupid. That's not a feeling. That is accurate. That is true. You're sane. See? You're sane. Very rarely are people not at least partly responsible, if not fully responsible for the situations they're in. And you're just realizing that now. You're realizing that most people, dude, you want something sad? Let's say you've had friends for years, maybe even a decade, and then they lose it because they can't handle the disease, or they had a bad day. That there are so few people that can keep it just together, let alone whether you're going to like them. How do you think Operation Evil came about? What? Because I wanted to help humanity? I tried helping humanity enough. Let me tell you something, kid. Humanity ain't worth helping. It's worth completely screwing over and profiting off of. And that's your job. Not that you're trying to screw people over, but people are constantly trying to screw other people over. And without crime, your job wouldn't exist. You're in the same industry. If cancer didn't exist or disease didn't, you wouldn't have doctors. But doctors are employed and they make lots of money. Cops get paid good salaries. For whatever reason, I'm making money. Pointing out that people are trying to screw each other over. Yes. What, you want to make friends with these people? You want to go out and be part of that society? I think your misanthropy is correct, right, and accurate, and you should not change it until the empirical evidence proves otherwise, until society gets its act together and people are worth a bleep, don't like people. Don't violate the rights either. I mean, don't treat them poorly for the sake of, but you don't have to, you're going to waste your investment, man. Wait until people prove that they're worth hanging out with. Could have been prevented if they weren't so stupid. This misanthropic attitude has become very acute since becoming a cop. Many of the criminals and victims I deal with are painfully stupid. Yes, like they're so dumb it feels like I'm a babysitter. What did I tell you? What cops are the babysitters of spoiled, worthless criminal or just plain stupid Americans. You're the babysitter. Yes, you are. Dealing with their bleep. I'm also becoming detached and desensitized in general. Many of the things that used to bring me joy are just boring or lackluster. Well, how about you stop plying your brain with booze and give it at least 2 weeks to biophysiologically repair? Then you might find things interesting again. I keep smashing myself in my nuts, and for some reason I don't get an erection. Well, got an idea. How about you stop smashing yourself in the nuts? Oh. Many things that used to bring me to I'm getting angrier more often, have nearly started a couple bar fights. Okay, talk about losing your job. And been too aggressive with women while I'm out drinking. Talk about losing your job. Dude, no social media for you. Like fake name, fake number. If you're gonna go out and drink, you gotta go under a fake name, fake number. For God's sake, leave your badge and gun at home. Please tell me you do that. I realize this behavior needs to stop immediately because my career is on the line. Right, but You can realize it up here all you want, dude. How many times I was looking at a drink? I shouldn't have that drink. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. You got to get over that. You got to get past that addiction. Everyone who's a drug addict knows they should stop. Everyone who's addicted to prawn knows they should stop. Well, what are you going to replace it with? Go talk to everyone I told you about. There's a particular incident last week that could have turned bad quick. The incident was compelled me to reach. Oh, this incident. I didn't want to identify what the incident was. This incident compelled me to reach out to you. Well, I'm glad that you reached out to me. Like today, because Maloney is out in Ireland. Maybe they're up over there. I don't know. Maybe they're rodeoing leprechauns. I don't know what they do in Ireland late at night or early in the morning. I don't know, whatever the Irish do. Like first thing, you go talk to. Well, you know what I would do, so there's a record of it. You go talk to the cops. Like, I need to talk to a therapist. Like, you get in there. I would also talk to Dr. David Maloney because I'm afraid who they're going to give you is going to be some government 24-year-old child who has no years experience, and it's probably going to be a girl too. And like, that's fine. Maybe they help, maybe they don't. But at least you got the and I'm going to also guess, I hope, that the shrinks they send you cops to has specific experience in working with cops. So I'd definitely go there. Then I would also go to Dr. David Maloney. Then I would also go to Paul at Apex Mindset. And then I would also, well, you're in no condition to be dating girls. Let's hold off on Sterling Cooper for a while until you get this all squared away. All right. But like tomorrow, you go and you talk to them. Like your ass is in a shrink's office ASAP. And then get your ass into AA. Like that after the shrink, they may even recommend someplace. You get your ass into AA. And you go every week or every day or whatever it is you have to do to make sure you don't drink anymore. My next goal is to remedy. Oh, we still got more. My finances. I'm in a financial bind. You got student loan debt, 11,000 credit card. Yes, this was stupid. And my parents 5,000 that they loaned me. On the flip side, 4,000 in crypto, 3,000 other. Where did the money go? How do you have? How? Hey, you know what you should? I'm gonna give you. We're gonna kill two birds with one stone. Why don't you start working extra shifts? Why don't you get some overtime? All right. Then you can't drink. Now you're making more money. That would be, I see what the therapist recommends, but logic to me would be, why don't you just immerse yourself in work? So you're not even thinking about this stuff anymore, man. You don't touch the booze. Like, do 2 solid weeks of as much OT as you possibly can and get your finances together. Some of the money I spent was unnecessary, but honestly, I blew a lot on stupid stuff. No kidding, really? Oh, you suburb people are so precious. You have everything and you blow through it. Blow through it. My next goal is to fix my dating life. Dude, distant third. Distant is now a low priority goal for now. Okay. But it's still important to me. I have a kill count of 7. What are you? That's a little low, especially for how good looking you were. I've been on numerous dates. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 23 because I really didn't have time to date until I was done with college. I sought out dating advice from guys like Corey Wayne, Rich Cooper, old Rich, Alex from Playing with Fire, John Anthony, guys in F and G. What's an effing G? Is that a gangster? And you as well. I got pretty good at talking to chicks and was at the point where I could go after 9s and 10s. All right, don't go after 9s and 10s. All right, just you sent some pictures. This guy is drop dead gorgeous. He's an incredibly handsome man. Okay, that's another great thing you got going for you, dude. Get all your stuff squared away. Get rid of the addictions. Get your finances together. Then go find yourself a nice 7 or maybe an 8. But don't go after the 9s or 10s. You can have sex with them, but don't go after the 9s and 10s. All right? They're mentally ill. It's just, I know a 9 who's really nice. Shut up. I know. There might be a nice 9 or a 10 out there. There might. All right. But for every one of them, there's literally 99,000 psycho crazy, bipolar, whatever. No. My favorite technique on dates was using the 90-10 rule where I let them do 90% of the talking. I'm naturally introverted, so it worked out great. That's fine. Yeah, but you're also phenomenally attractive. Just do that. Just please go to the gym, be good looking. Don't tell me you're a cop. Come up with something else. On the, what do they call, holster sniffers and badge bunnies. Ask some of the senior men, ask some of the guys my age with a little gray hair about holster sniffers and badge bunnies. However, I find hooking up with random chicks doesn't do it for me. It's way more economical just to get a sex worker. Yes, it is. You don't even make that much money, and yes, it is more. Yes, does anyone know my show? Has anyone heard the things I've said? As an economist, I can prove to. Would you like to have a financial audit or financial proof? It's cheaper. Yes, of course it is. Seeking arrangement might be a perfect thing for you. Although I guess that's pretty pricey. So maybe, I don't know. You're good looking enough, but this is distant third. I want to eventually have a long-term girlfriend, but after discovering the red pill, I've become jaded and turned off by women and dating in general. The affirmation addiction isn't helping, and this all ties into my detachment towards humanity in general. Also have a tendency towards a BDM SM fetish. All right, well, that's fine. There's nothing wrong. I love doming women, inflicting pain, all consensual, of course. Okay, that's fine. Perfectly fine. Yes, I know I'm really just a mess right now when it comes to women. I want to correct this because I don't want to end up like a MGTOW hermit, though I agree with the men going their own way philosophy. All your problems, take care of them first. Nothing wrong with having your little feshes and kinks. You're not dating anyone. If you want a long-term girlfriend or marriage, fine. Later, after you're healed, and you can tie a girl up and spank her if you want. Sure, why the hell not? My final goal is leaving this place. The state is a bleep hole. I was thinking about lateraling out to a out-of-state department or going federal. Well, at federal, they're going to go through your spending receipts. Say, what's with all this booze? Not sure where to go. My brother was elsewhere. My sister lives elsewhere. I'm definitely going to get your book, Reconnaissance Man, and start exploring the United States. Well, that's a start. I will note this goal will take the most work. All right. Well, then, should you be buying a house if you want to move? The answer is no. I thought you'd be there for like 5 to 7 years, and and then maybe, but no. My question for you is, how should I go about achieving these goals with that background that I have? I already told you. I feel like I know what I need to do. Duh. Everyone knows what they need to do. They pay me to go get a 300-yard running start with a steel toe boot made out of titanium in the weapons labs of Red Wing Boots and kick you in the ass. That's why people pay me. And half of you still don't do it anyway. But I don't know what order things should be done. I told you, therapist, cop therapist, first thing tomorrow. So you'd be fine. Paul Benjamin, Apex Mindset. Dr. David Maloney, backup therapist. I'm only having you talk to him because he is designed for men. In case you get some theoretician who came from your prestigious suburb, like, oh my God, daddy bought me a convertible cabriolet, and it's patriarchy's fault. Obviously give up the booze. But go back to the gym. I think you just need to work a lot of extra shifts too. But talk to your therapist first. They may put you on leave. And for your own darn good. Is there anything additional I should do? Anything I shouldn't worry about for now? Thank your lucky stars you haven't gotten arrested by one of your coworkers. And you should not be going out to the nightclubs. All right. If you're going to drink, you stay home. All right. I understand it's hard to give up booze. All right. But if you're going to drink, you stay home. Right. I wouldn't worry about women. Don't worry about that. God, what would happen? Because you're a good looking guy. you didn't wrap it up, and the girl decided that, oh, he's alpha and I'm 38 years old. I'm going to have his baby. Oops, I forgot that you have so drunkenly wobbled through this landmine field and magically not stepped on a single landmine, but you will, and it will be over for you. And then your troubles really start to begin. I bet you there's a ton of cops. We got a lot of cops. I mean, they're probably going to have some advice. Read through the comments section. They're probably going to have some great advice. Shouldn't worry about it. Basically, what would you do if I were in my position? Therapist, cops, Dr. David Maloney, who you can reach out to tonight. AA, first thing after you talk to the therapist, or in between. Oh, we have an appointment at 4. You go to AA at noon. All right. What else? I mean, give up booze, give up vaping, blah blah. But your system won't take it. It won't take you. What I would do, here's something you could do immediately. All right, instead of vaping and cigarettes and booze, just tackle one addiction at a time. And instead of, let's take vaping. I think that's pretty expensive, isn't it? Why don't, instead of vaping, you go treat yourself to a root beer float or an ice cream or a cookie? And anytime you think you want to vape, you go get something else. Oh, I want to vape. Well, get a slice of pizza. Don't get a whole pizza. You got to have like a little bit of a time. But go get yourself a nice little treat. And then once that addiction is over, if you get to that point, then you can go tackle the next addiction. But I'll tell you, man, the booze is the one that's got to go. That's got to go. Additional information. I have some hobbies. These include working out. Oh, cigar smoking. Good. All right. Some great podcasts, by the way, on what you like listening to, the audiobooks. Some hobbies I would like to pick up: hunting, fishing, traveling via road trips around, motorcycling. Yeah, you know what? Get a motorcycle. Think about all the money here. Think of all the money you buy. You spend money on booze. You could afford a motorcycle. So go motorcycle riding. But before all that, work your double shifts. You just bury yourself at work, so you don't have time to worry about this crap, man. Another thing I would probably do is just accept that these people are scumbags. Most humans are NPCs, and don't let it bother you. There's no saving them. I think you got to give up on like hoping that there's a better life, that these people are just going to wake up, you're going to have great peers and colleagues, and you're going to find nice girls. You're not. But also be incredibly thankful about the best place you're going to find it is going to be a police department, a group of guys. But you can't be the rookie kid. Oh, God, you can't be the rookie kid coming from the prestigious burbs who has a drinking problem. You can't, dude. You just can't. They're going to bust your balls. And rightly so. Rick Kurt's the high IQ and always testing 135 to 140 range. There's another problem. Great relationship with my mom. Dad and I have a difficult, but at times a good relationship. Have few close friends. Some are better influences than others. Never had a girlfriend. Currently paying my mom in rent. Help around the house. You have other siblings. You need to lose weight. I'm 6 feet tall and such. Could you have a girlfriend rate my looks for me? I've always wanted. Duh, you're a 10. If you, the pictures you sent where you're jacked, you got your 6-pack abs, you got your perfect eyes and your hair. You're a 10. You're a 10. You'll probably scare the piss out of girls. Okay, that's why it is. You're a 10. You ain't going to be a 10 sitting in jail, right? Or bald because you've taxed your system so much you lose your hair. So there you go. Oh, also, because your dad is an immigrant, you also have residency at that country. Okay. Absolute must. Once you kind of get some basics squared away here, you get some money saved up. I want you to reconnoiter that country. I want you to go over there and visit your home country. I want you to think about, could I live here? Matter of fact, what I would be doing is, instead of buying a piece of property here, I'd be looking to buy a piece of land in your home country, not a house, land. So that if things go bad here, because you see it every day, then you'll have this peace of mind. I can always go back to the home country where it's got to be better than this. It absolutely has to be. I know it ain't going to be perfect, but it has to be better than this. Because the United States people are mentally ill. Everyone's mentally ill. And they're scum. All right. So your home country, I would make sure you got citizenship, make sure that's still a thing. Talk to a realtor. And your goal, I mean, I'd be working double time as much as I get as much OT in a year as you possibly can. Have a goal. Another thing that's substitution, like, oh, like ice cream instead of drinking. Well, instead of being angry at all this stuff, why don't you have a goal? Why don't you go overseas? Go to the home country. Oh, look at all the girls that aren't land whales yet. Oh, it's kind of nice here. Talk to a realtor. Find some land. And you work towards that goal. Now you got a goal. Right? And another thing, not to keep plugging my stuff, but this is the problem I had. Look for my book called The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. Right? It really should be life without other quality people because there's just such crap in society. But that's what makes it sexy. But it's basically, why should you live absent the opposite sex? Because the opposite sex is not interested in dating you. Male, female, doesn't matter, right? Ain't nobody coming to this negotiating table. So look for that. But that's at least a month away. All right. Let's go through the super chats. All right. Oh, look at that, 200, but it's Mexican pesos. Wow. Scrolling. Ice Nose, $2. Tell the story of the people who rented furniture. No, I gotta go do more. I got lots of videos to do, and I'd like to go get food. Ace, ACE, new guy, $5. Saw a guy at the grocery store yesterday that looks exactly like you, just 100 pounds heavier. Wait, the guy from Come On Man podcast? I kid. He looks exactly like me. He's just got a little bit more weight than me. It's scary, the picture he posted. Check that out. Come On Man podcast. Be Strong, $5. That would be nice if they could have white cops go undercover as black while working in leftist areas because of all the politics against white cops. I don't think that would work. Wouldn't you need black cops in black neighborhoods? Like, you wouldn't send Jerome to go bust what's a white drug? Cocaine ring, would you? They got to use young cops to go bust underage parties. Ask me how I know. Hey, you look young. Can you shave? DJ Aftershock 5. That was security, by the way. That wasn't working for the cops. DJ Aftershock, $5. Dude, man, instead of being a cop, become a full-time activist or social worker if you're from the burbs. They have solved problems, man. Yeah, those suburb kids have just solved so many problems. They have solved so many problems. Clarence Gaston. Oh, $10. Hey, Cap, I took the financial excellence course and it was amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't really get a lot of feedback. I know if Teachable offers feedback. I haven't looked, but I've been so busy. But thank you. I'm glad you liked it. And it was amazing. I finished all the books and it's a 3-way tie between the Book of Numbers, Enjoy the Decline, and Curse of the High IQ. Good job. Okay, good. Yeah, it depends on where you are. I mean, high IQ would be for high IQ folk. Scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. Here we go. Hexter, 200 Mexican pesos, which $10? What's the rate? What's your thoughts on the main difference in classical Keynesian? Oh God, really? Classical Keynesian Austrian economics. Do you practice? And okay, here, let me explain to you the school of thought, the school of economics, the school of anything. It's all BS. I'm really more of this type of philosopher. No. It's about a bunch of key different assumptions, and then you're like stuck in that school. It's like, no, it's too rigid, man. Sometimes the Keynesians are right about something. Sometimes the classical economics and the Austrians are right about everything. Here's how you'd become an economist or philosopher. You look at what happens in the real world. You grow a big set of cojones and you say, hey, this happened in the real world because of these obvious things due to Occam's razor. And then you insult everybody who's living a lie. That's it. There, you're the world's greatest economist. I'm not smart. I'm not brilliant. I just said, that's happening because of that over there. And then, for example, because bankers are lending a lot of money that they shouldn't be to deadbeats. The deadbeats get pissed. The bankers get pissed. I get threatened to lose my job. See how that works? There's a bubble in housing, and all the suburb people who have no money but have a house that's gone up in value that they took every penny out of equity. My house is worth $8.7 million. And then 2 weeks later, it's now foreclosed and selling for $270,000. That was 2008. But no, I would say closest to the Austrian because it's the one that has the most predictive value. It's not. What would be better would be Ayn Rand's objectivism, which just isn't. It's not a philosophy. It's like, well, what is that? Is that a duck? That is a duck. Does the emperor have no clothes? He don't have no clothes. He don't have no clothes. So I have no problem saying the number one cause of poverty is people having more kids than they could afford because it's true. And then people get all offended. I'm like, well, why do you hate poor people? But. So I have no problem. Like, black community, stop majoring in stupid stuff. But this is universally for everyone. Stop majoring in stupid stuff. Don't have kids you can't afford. What else? Don't commit crime. And then, well, Thomas Sowell had them. And then spend less than you make. There. Why do you hate black people? I don't. What, you want them to have more kids than they can afford to commit crime? You're the one that really hates black people then, apparently. No joke. You want them to be poor? I want them out of poverty. What are you doing? It's discrimination. Buy Nike shoes from the loser who couldn't be a football guy. That'll solve poverty. All right, so what you're saying is you really want to keep black people in poverty. All right, fine. All right, be that way. I want them out. Is that it? Are we all caught up? See, YouTube's been very fickle. 851. There it is. Oh, we are right. Okay. Mr. King, $20. Just retired today. Hey, all right. Congratulations, man. Did you get your 20 in? I got another. Wait, 43. Let me ask you this. You don't have to answer anything like that, super chats, but I got a buddy who also retired at 43, and he got into some kind of program fresh out of high school. Like, he essentially went to cadet school at 18. And he also retired in his early 40s as well. And everyone hates his guts. He's got a motorcycle. He lives out in Pahrump. He's happy. He's got his guns. Well, congratulations there, King. 43, good shape with a 6-figure pension, no debt and decent investments, moving to Dominican Republic. And this, hey, do me a favor. Email me about your what you see down there. Because that's close. I've heard nothing but good things. But if you're going down there to retire, let me know what your thoughts are on it. But thank you for the generous $20. I don't need you sending pictures if you on a beach with a yeah, you're having fun. I got it. Save that for your family and people stuck back north. All right, there you go. Questions, answers. Any of you cops in the audience have some recommendations? Put them in the comments below. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.